HOA tried to revoke my garden shed. It was donated by the mayor. I never thought a garden shed could cause so much chaos. My name is Eva Moreno, retired librarian, backyard gardener, and reluctant protagonist in what turned out to be the most public HOA takedown our small Virginia suburb had ever seen. I moved into Hickory Ridge 2 years ago after my husband passed. I was tired of noise and city chaos, looking for peace and a patch of earth I could call my own. What I got was a nice, quiet lot on the corner, a few chickens, and a big back lawn I turned into a neighborhood garden. Not a vanity thing, I mean a true community patch. Tomatoes, zucchinis, herbs, even a few wildflowers. Kids came by after school to help plant. Seniors picked basil for soup. That garden shed, it wasn't just mine. It was a gift, a real, honest-to-goodness donation from Mayor Clarissa White herself. That didn't stop Karen from trying to tear it down. Karen's real name is Tricia Langley, but no one calls her that anymore. She claims she was the acting president of the HOA, even though no elections had been held since 2018 and everyone else on the old board either moved or resigned. Her uniform, a neon orange vest with HOA inspection unit, duct taped to the back, and a clipboard she treated like a badge. At first, it was harmless. She left a note on my mailbox asking me to please paint the fence beige, as white was too bright. I chuckled and ignored it. Then she started visiting, hovering near the back fence during my gardening hours, asking who authorized the foot traffic, threatening to report the chicken coop to animal zoning, but nothing compared to what she pulled when the mayor's shed went up. Let me back up. Last April, Mayor Clarissa came by during one of her re-election community visits. She saw the garden, asked questions, talked to kids, listened. A week later, she sent a letter, a donation from the city to install a pre-built weatherproof shed for tools and seeds. She even came for the ribbon cutting. We took a photo. She gave a short speech. The shed had the city's logo engraved on a tiny copper plaque. Community growth begins in the garden. Donated by the Office of the Mayor, 2023. The neighborhood loved it. Karen did not. 3 months later, I found a red violation taped to the shed door. This structure is unapproved and unauthorized under HOLAN use policy. Immediate removal required or fines will be applied daily. I laughed. Then I read the back. $500 per day. I walked over to Karen's house, violation in hand. She opened the door like she'd been waiting for a war. "You know this isn't legal." "Right," I asked, holding up the letter from the mayor. She snatched it, didn't even read it. "That shed's a blight. It violates our aesthetic uniformity clause." "There's no such clause." "I have documentation." "No. You have a clipboard and a chip on your shoulder. That should have ended it." It didn't. A week later, I came home from the farmer's market to find my gate wide open, herbs trampled, and the shed door swinging on one hinge. A planter lay cracked beside the base. My rosemary bush, 5 years old, was crushed beneath it. Karen stood there, red in the face, screwdriver in hand. "I warned you," she snapped. "This is removal in progress. You broke into my property. I issued notice. You didn't comply. You're not the law. I am the representative of order here." That's when I raised my phone and hit record. The video hit 40,000 views in 12 hours. Local news picked it up. Garden shed showdown. Fake HOA president destroys mayor's gift. Even the city's official page commented, "We're investigating. The shed stays." But it didn't stop there. Neighbors came forward with screenshots of Karen's fake notices. She'd fined a man for planting sunflowers, told a teenage boy his skateboard ramp was unsanctioned structure, demanded a color swatch submission from a single mom for her daughter's pink playhouse. All fabricated, all signed with her fake HOA title, Community Standards Enforcement Division. I compiled the files, sent everything to the city, sent it to the real HOA board too, turns out. The few remaining members had no idea Karen had resumed operations on her own. Mayor Clarissa herself showed up at my door 2 days later. She stood in my garden and said, "This wasn't just about a shed. This was about who decides what community looks like." She held a press conference that afternoon, standing in front of the shed, city seal behind her, cameras rolling. No one, she said, not even a neighbor with a clipboard, has the right to undo something built with love, respect, and public trust. Karen tried to speak, claimed she was acting within legacy regulations. The city attorney hit her with a cease and desist on live TV. The HOA was declared inactive, all fines nullified. She was banned from issuing any further notices under threat of legal action. A month later, we hosted a harvest day in the garden. Kids painted pumpkins, seniors swapped recipes. My rosemary bush, replanted from a surviving root ball, started showing green again. We added a second plaque to the shed, restored by the will of the community, proof that petty power cannot uproot good. Karen. She still lives 3 doors down, but she doesn't come to the garden anymore. Her clipboard disappeared, and her clipboard, it's nailed upside down, inside the shed, right above the trowels. Call to action. Have you ever witnessed someone misuse fake authority to destroy something built with love? How do we protect kindness from the claws of control? Share your story. Speak your truth. Because gardens bloom in sunlight, not under the shadow of a clipboard.